What's up, everybody? Hello, 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 hello. This is the one and only African superstar, the grandmother of Ghana. Big shout out to the African superstar family. Yes, happy to see you guys again. Please, as you come in the chat room, make your presence known. Make sure you like the stream and be a part of our conversation tonight. Yes. In other news, I want to make you aware of my upcoming celebrity tour with Mr. Taye Uhuru. You guys are going to hear a lot about it. So please make sure if you're interested, you book your spot today. Limited spots only. When it fills up, it fills up. So if you're interested in our all-inclusive tour, head over to www.tayeahuru.com. The dates are October 16th through the 26th. October 19th through the 26th. So please make sure you clear your calendars, book your ticket, and let's roll. Today, I want to talk about this topic. It came up, and I want to share my perspective. So a pretty good friend of mine contacted me today on Facebook and asked me, I want to ask you this question. I want an honest answer. Would you recommend Ghana? So again, for new viewers or people new to the platform that may not know me, I am Gina Ifoe. I'm the one and only African superstar. I have been living in Ghana since 2020, and I took my first trip to Ghana in 2016, and I promote Ghana to the world because I love this country. And so that's where, the person is asking me for my opinion on whether or not Ghana is going to be for them. The first and foremost thing that I would promote anybody who's interested on the continent, I would say anywhere in the world, really. I do realize like a lot of Westerners, especially people from America, they may not have been able to have a lot of exposure to travel. And so the concept of traveling, living abroad, coming to the continent, they're like huge concepts for them. And so in many ways, they lack practicality. But I would say even if you were moving to, for instance, like a different state or even a different city in your current state, it's very, very unlikely that you would just pick up and move unless you were in like a serious situation where, domestic situation, weather, perhaps extenuating circumstances with your family. It's very, very rare that when people are moving or whatnot, that they go without any knowledge of the place that they are going to. Big shout out to ATM International. I see you there. Yes. The one and only African superstar, the grandmother of Ghana. I'm in the building. Hello. Make sure you like the stream. I'm talking about a friend of mine that asked me if I would recommend Ghana. I'm going to start with the practical information of travel to the place that you are interested in. Before you even get to the level of being able to travel to the place, acclimate yourself with the place. We see a lot of people that are having failure in their moves because they're moving somewhere they have no idea about. Things that they would have learned on their first or second trip, they're encountering it after they've made such a grand move, after they have, maybe sold their house or quit their job or, spent a lot of money or whatever it might be. That's not how you want to do it. That's not how I did it. And so therefore I can't advise anybody to do that. Now I realize in Hollywood, they do stuff like this, but in reality, it's so unwise. And, when you're talking about, for instance, when I moved from America to the UK, I don't really feel like the culture shock was huge. I don't really feel like the change to lifestyle was huge. I didn't have any language barrier, or anything like that. So in many ways, living in the UK was not extremely different to growing up in Ohio. Now, when you're talking about moving to a whole different continent, different country where, the native language is different, the culture is different, the weather is different. Everything is different here in Ghana compared to America. So in those kind of situations, I really believe that coming first and, perhaps even if you can even spend some extended time here, before you make that leap. Because again, we all know that when you travel for vacation or you travel for a limited time, it's a much different experience than being here, living here, working here, having a business, having a partner, bringing your kids here. It's a lot different. So I told my friend, I can't recommend Ghana to you. Ghana suits me. Ghana is my home, but I made that decision after several travels. And I also checked out the other regions across the continent. Went to North Africa, went to Egypt, went to East Africa, went to Tanzania and Kenya, checked out South Africa, also went to Nigeria and West Africa. So I sampled other places before I settled on Ghana. Where a lot of people are going wrong is they are following the trends. Okay, they're following social media, they're following celebrities, and those people are coming to Ghana, hyping it, and there's a lot of popularity. That person is not doing their own research to know if this is a place that would suit them, And so I told her, hey, start with a trip first before you determine what it is. Special shout outs to my homeboy Troy. I met a really nice gentleman in Ghana a few weeks ago at the Diaspora Music Awards, and he's like a world traveler. He's on world travels. He's been on world travels for 10 months. And so he was stopping by Ghana. From Ghana, he went to Nairobi. Then he went to Mumbai, and he texted me today to let me know that he just arrived in Thailand. And so he was telling me, that Mumbai was crazy. Like, it was mad, huge population, really busy. And him as a Black man, he really stood out, and they made him to feel, they weren't mean or rude or nasty, but just the stares everywhere and the shock and awe of him being in such a homogeneous world. And, he said before he actually went to Mumbai, he had no context of what to even expect in India. And going there really helped him solidify what he does, what he doesn't like, and, about that particular situation. And that's why I really recommend that you get a connection to the place that you're going to. It's just so important, because in reality, when you migrate, there is going to be challenges and difficulties and obstacles and cultural differences. And I mean, a lot of things can come up. If you don't have your specific reasons for why you have chosen the place where you're going, you'll easily be frustrated out of that journey, and the wasted time and expense of embarking on this journey when it's not something that you have long-term aspirations, it just doesn't make sense. And it's something that you could alleviate by visiting, by empowering yourself, by research and stuff that you could determine. I mean, I just think about how some of you guys are moving. People picking up, buying one-way tickets to certain places. I'm like, if I did that to any of the other places that I traveled to, I would be so I would have been in a situation. I wasn't prepared to live in Egypt. Egypt was nothing like what I expected, but not necessarily, the culture that I would want to immerse myself in. I also really wasn't crazy about Kenya. Great to do business in, great for a short term, affordable cost of living at that time. But, I just didn't vibe socially. I just feel a lot more aligned with West Africa. I already have my networks. I already have my familiarity. I like the weather. I like the food. I like everything about where I'm living. But again, that was cultivated over multiple visits, years, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, I personally can't recommend Ghana to none of you guys. I've been saying the same thing year in, year out, travel and see. Travel and see. You might say, yeah, I don't have a lot of money. Well, I would say if you don't have a lot of money, moving here is already a bad idea. It's already a bad idea, because you need to give yourself time to acclimate here. Moving across the sea can be a very, very costly thing. And so if you're broke, I mean, already trying to come here is going to be a struggle for you, and that's not a good situation. You don't want to come where your back is up against the wall, and the minute you sneeze, everything falls apart. But I know I make these messages repetitively, and I know a lot of people don't listen. And then when they come, they have the fallout, and then the first thing they do is run to YouTube and complain about this and that, you know. And the unfortunate thing is, other nationals that are coming to the continent, they don't move like that. You know, they're not complaining about the infrastructure. They're not complaining about this, complaining about the Ghanaian people, complaining about, no, they're just trying to secure their opportunities. All right. You know, keep quiet, stay focused on their endeavors, and get themselves in position. That's what the other foreigners do, you know, and yet here we are. We make the most noise, and it's really crazy and unfortunate. So, you know, is Ghana for you? I don't know. Now, if you're similar to me, maybe. You know, I've talked about on the channel severally different aspects that have improved since being here. Um, you know, Ghana is good for me comprehensively, but it may not be good. You know, I remember many years ago, a friend of mine came to visit in Ghana, and you know, we spent some time together, and she preferred Kenya. You know, she spent a lot more time in East Africa, and one of her reasons was it's just too hot for her in Ghana. You know, it's just too hot for her in West Africa as a whole. She prefers the climate in Kenya. Now, meanwhile, me, I like it hot, so I don't like the temperate climate in Kenya. You know, I think it's crazy and bogus. I'm gonna be in Africa and be cold. You know, my connotation of Africa is that it's warm, but the reality is that, you know, West Africa has got to be, I think West Africa and then certain parts of Central Africa are probably the most hottest regions here, because from my experience, the North, the East, and the South all have moderate weather. They have more of the seasons. They have more cooler temperatures. I know it snowed in South Africa this year. I think it snowed in Lesotho as well. You know, I don't want to deal with that. And then also, you know, there's quite a lot of foreigners heading to Kenya, heading to South Africa. I don't really want, although there are a lot of foreigners coming to Ghana as well, it's still very homogeneous here, you know, and that's how I like it. I don't really want to live in a very diverse environment here in Africa. No, I want to live among African people. That's just the truth, you know. So it's up to you guys to determine what your flavor is, you know. And again, I mean, I think, yes, it's going to be maybe expensive to tour a little bit if you're traveling, going to different countries and all of that. But I really think if you are considering migrating, bringing your kids here, bringing your business here, retiring here, it only makes sense to make sure. I mean, for instance, Americans that retire and move abroad, or Brits that retire and move abroad, they don't retire and then go pick a destination that they have never been to. You know, typically they have traveled to that destination, you know, probably several times before they were to retire and go to that place. Even if it's like their country of origin, if it's an immigrant or something. You know, I know plenty of Ghanaians in the UK, plenty of Ghanaians in America, they frequent Ghana. You know, so by the time they retire and everything, they're not going to come to a completely foreign place. And so members of the diaspora, I mean, I think this is just an area where it's a learning curve for a lot of people who, again, have not had exposure to travel or traveled much. You know, this whole picking up and moving thing without the infrastructure around that move. Let me tell you, you will, you know, it's highly unlikely you will have longevity or success in your migrations if that's how you do it. Because of the simple fact, the people that are having great success had a whole different methodology. They planned, they visited, you know, it may have taken them a while to get themselves stable before they made the leap, you know, unless your migration is being facilitated by the army, a job, a spouse or family or something like that. But if you, the individual, is making these moves, then, you know, you need to do the needful. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. How are you guys doing today? Hello. We have 16 of you. What? I don't see you guys in the chat room. The math is not mathing. Say hello. Say hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Cause I see it in your face. Hello. Guys, I don't come live every day. If you like to see me, let me know that you appreciate the lives. Okay. Big shout out to ATM International. Brown Coat Blue. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple days, couple weeks, I think. Big shout out to Brown Coat Blue. What's up, Myrtle? Yes, the one and only grandma of Ghana. That's me. Shout outs to St. Kitts. I see you there. P. Rodusa says, only thing I like about America is the scenery of the four seasons. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you, but you can get more seasons. You can get seasons. I think probably the most seasonal place is probably South Africa. Because again, you're going to get the really, really cold temperatures. You can get the snow. And then obviously you have the summertime and there's beaches and mountains. And, there's a lot of variety, I'd say, in like South Africa. Now, you come into West Africa, it's hot all year round. That's what it is. We have rainy season and we have the Harmattan, and that's it. The Harmattan is like a dry, dusty season. And that's it. Average temperature here is like 30 degrees Celsius. I think that's about probably 80 something Fahrenheit. And the coldest I've seen it get here in Ghana is about 26. And that's it. Which for those of us, for Ghana folk that's here, it really does feel chilled. It really does feel cold. Just 4 degrees, less than the norm. So yes, if you're into the seasons, but again, if you put your base here, for instance, on the continent, you can go and holiday in the West. I know, again, another foreign concept is that, when you move to Africa, it's not the end all be all. Okay. I probably travel on average 2 to 3 times a year. I go to the UK, I go to America. Sometimes I go to other locations in Europe. Like I had a music awards in Paris, and I brought it back. Shout out to the African Superstar family. So I went to Paris for the music awards. You can travel but you can be living here. So if you feel like, oh, I want to go autumn time to Ohio, I want to go, have a white Christmas in New York City. Hello. But again, like I said, if you come here with $2, traveling will be tough for you. So I recommend those of us living here, as much as possible, you need to kind of have a contingency emergency account, especially you're having family abroad, you have business abroad, whatever. You need to be able to travel back and forth if need be. Most of the diasporans I know here are doing that. They have had to go. Several of my friends, they've lost their parents, one or whatever during the time that we've been here. They've had to go back for funeral, go back because the family member is ill. One of my girlfriend's sister, her daughter had a baby. So she went to go assist with the grandson, so, and, again, like people like me who is doing music, I have programs abroad. I perform in London. I performed in Paris. You travel, but you come back to Ghana. So you kind of have to get rid of this antiquated idea that, oh my God, if I go to Africa, like I'm in the Twilight Zone. It's just another place on the globe. I mean, if you've been all around, you've been to the Caribbean, you've been to Latin America, you've been to Puerto Rico, you've been to Europe, you've been to India, you've been to Asia, then hello. Our minds are warped to have some type of connotation whenever we talk about Africa, whenever we talk about moving there, living there, existing there. It's just like, oh my God, no. So again, my friend said, hey, would you recommend Ghana? Ghana's good for me. That's all I can tell you. Ghana is good for me. Now, if you come to me with a list, okay, I like hot weather. I want to live close to the sea. I want to live, among this, that, blah, blah, blah. These are some of the things I'm looking. I want to get into agriculture. I want to, I want it somewhere with Pan-African history. Okay, then I can say, hey, Ghana has those elements here. Which again, we have a lot of diasporan critics, but Ghana is like the nation for the Pan-Africanism. You know, this is the place that historically has always been an advocate for Pan-Africanism. If you don't believe me, go ask Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Go ask Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? Ties to Ghana. You know, and Pan-Africanism. This is the first country that did a formal invite to the diaspora to come back. You know, so there's a lot of beautiful things and fantastic things about Ghana, but, you know, it might not suit everybody. And quite frankly, again, money. You know, you might not be in a situation where you can afford Ghana. You know, I know, again, we've been brainwashed. Hey, in Africa, there's huts and, you know, there's no electricity, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no mobile phones. You're going back in time. Yeah, well, you come here with that $2 and see how far it's going to get you in Ghana. Big shout out to the family. Yeah. Brown Coat Blue says snow gets old real quick. Facts. I think 2 weeks out of the year would be good. If you want to do the winter thing, you know, if you want to do the winter, you want to go do a month. I spent a month in the UK from, you know, October to December 1st. Wait, yeah, I think I went October 30, 31st, whatever. I spent a month. Okay. And yeah, but by the time December 1st came and that temperature was dropping, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. A month was good enough for that cold, icy wind and all that stuff. Yeah, I was like, yeah. You know, it getting dark early and bro, you know, but then again, I'm not a snowbird. You know, I'm a tropical babe. Okay, so this environment is way better for me. Shout out to the African Superstar family. M. George, I see you there from Detroit. Hello, Janelle. How are you doing? Yes. Janelle says, let's get the likes up. Engage in the conversation. You know, I can't tell you guys if Africa is for you. That has to be a personal decision. Once we break it down beyond the African continent, which country is for you? Even here in Ghana, different regions might be more suitable. You might like the North. You know, I'd say for my Muslim brothers and sisters, you know, the northern part of the country, Tamale and all that, you know, there's a heavy Muslim population there. You might feel great there. You know, Muslims, they might like North Africa. You know, we have Matrel who's in Egypt. You know what I mean? It's a very Islamic environment there. You know, if you're a French speaker, you might like Cote d'Ivoire. You might like Senegal. You might like, you know, I mean, I don't know how many folks probably want to go to Congo with the situation going on, but nonetheless, you know, it just depends on your vibes. I don't know your vibes. I have no idea. So, you know, I told my friend, yo, come to Ghana. If you are interested, then come and visit first. M. George, no, I didn't see the video that K&K put out. No. P. Rodusa says, once I leave America, I'm not coming back except for funerals. You never know what might take you back. But, you know, I just think for me, the best thing is for me to spend the majority of my time here in Ghana. It's better for me, you know. And then because I seem to be getting very overwhelmed when I go to the Western world, especially for longer periods of time. You know, I'd say 2 months is, you know, after 2 months, usually, you know, let's wrap it up and go. So for me, it's better. And also, it also helps me stay focused there with my objectives, whatever I've gone to do. Because typically when I've gone to do something. I don't holiday in America. I don't holiday in the UK. Okay, so when I go, I have things on my docket that I'm trying to, you know, do while I'm in town. And because I know I have that limited time, it really helps me to focus in and say, okay, you know, stick to the routine, stick to the script. And when I get back home to Ghana, I can relax, I can chill, I can get into my groove. Big shout outs, Quasi. Hello, Etisain, how are you? Represent to Harrow, Middlesex, England. Okay, shout outs to my UK viewers. He says, I agree with you so much that planning or not planning will determine a diaspora's success in Ghana or on the continent. You know, and I have echoed this severally. I have echoed this severally. And again, when we go back and we critique those that are failing, okay, with their migration, because those people are always the loudest people here on social media, you know, we can see similarities. A lot of them run into money problems. Some of them run into family problems. I've seen a couple YouTubers where it's like one partner wants to be and the other partner doesn't want to be, and it becomes a conflict for them. You know, that kind of thing. You know, and then you have others that are completely oblivious of the culture. You know, they don't like this, they don't like that. They feel like the people don't like them, or they're lonely, they don't have fun. You know, and it's like a lot of these things are repetitive themes that had you done a little bit more research, you came and stayed for a little bit of time. You know, I mean, I do recognize, you know, when you're in the Western world, you're working a job and stuff. Sometimes it's difficult to maybe take a month off, and then with them bills and that slave life, you know, got y'all yoked up and caught up. I feel you. I understand. I used to be there. I understand. But however, if you're considering a major move like this, I feel like it's in your best interest, because I think some of those people, if they would have came and they would have stayed here like maybe a month or, you know, 6 weeks or something like that, they would have said, oh yeah. I mean, even people that did the leap, there are people that moved to Tanzania, moved to South Africa, and then had to shift, moved, you know, moved elsewhere, came to Senegal, then moved to other countries, because once they were there for a little while, they were like, oh, I don't really like this as much as I thought I did. You know, so again, but hey, what do I know? I've only got 2 migrations under my belt. You know, I've been living outside the U.S. for 7 years. But what do I know? I don't know anything. They know better. So yes. What's up? What's up? What's up? Bronco Blue, can't wait to officially say my home base is Ghana. Brother, I know how you feel. I know how you feel, because before I was settled in Ghana, that's how I felt. I felt, you know, every day it was like the driving, you know, factor. I mean, everything centralized around Ghana, my job, my fitness, my finances, you know, my mind was just in Ghana. And I was frequenting Ghana. I was coming to Ghana every 6 months, you know, and spending a couple weeks. You know, that was what I could do, because I wasn't also in a position to come for a month or 2 or whatever. I had a rent out there, I had a job out there, and all of that. So yeah, I feel you. But again, I was frequenting, you know, in my capacity, I was doing what I could do, so that when I moved to Ghana, I wasn't moving to an unfamiliar place. You know, I was so proud of myself. By the time I moved here, I knew how to take the taxi, you know, from the airport and go where I was going. You know, when I came to Ghana in June of 2019, okay, and I met Joseph Mayer on that vacation, you know what I mean? And he met me at the airport and he took me to my hotel, which was in the area where I currently reside, East Legon. Okay, so this was like kind of like the first place I landed when I came to Ghana. And so, you know, he would walk with me in the evenings. We'll take evening walks, and, you know, so I could see the place and whatnot. He was the first one to take me to Filippo's, you know, my favorite tilapia joint. And, you know, he exposed and kind of set those foundations up. Now, from the time I met him, which was June 2019, and I moved here in September 2020, I came to Ghana. I came to Ghana in December of 2019. I came in February of 2020, and then I moved. But I had already come to Ghana about, what, 3-4 times before that, because I came from in 2016. I came back 2018. You know what I'm saying? So I was frequenting Ghana. So by the time I moved here in 2020, you know, I felt expert-ish. Bronco Blue says we'll definitely do some travel, but bottom line is why leave paradise? Yeah, I mean, the reality is, guys, listen. You know, I keep it real on this channel. Although some people think I romanticize the continent, I'm not romanticizing the continent. I have a good life. And because of my great planning, hello, And blueprints, I haven't had a lot of Wahala drama like a lot of people. So I'm not romanticizing anything. I'm just recounting my own experience. Hello. But in all seriousness, when a diasporian person who has lived the majority of their life in America, in Canada, in the UK, we have so many ties and connections to those locations. In addition to our parents may still be there, our siblings may still be there, our children may still be there. You know, our entire life networks are out there. Okay, so it's not unusual to think something will, events may take you there. You know, funerals may take you there, weddings may take you there, graduations may take you there. You know, issues with your bank, huh? Shout out to all the diasporans. You know, banking internationally, they block your card and stuff. Somebody just tried to use your card in Portugal. Somebody just tried to use your card in London. You know, you're trying. You know, I've had it happen a bazillion times. Um, it's like I'm trying to use my Ohio bank card. You know, the most embarrassing one was I was actually in Portugal. I was on transit from Ghana. I was going to the UK. And I tried to use my card at the airport in Portugal. There was a long line at this cafe trying to get a sandwich and a drink, and it declined. Of course, I didn't have any euros. I didn't have any cash. That was like the card I had. And the time that I was traveling, obviously it was like 2 a.m. in the US. So I couldn't even call my bank and have them unblock the card. You know, this type of drama that goes on. So, sometimes I actually think it's great practice to go back at least once a year just to be in the system, replace your debit card, check your affairs and all that stuff, just to make sure everything's in good standing. Renew your license, renew your passport. I'm of that thought. And then also when you have family, to see them and whatnot. So yeah, you guys can take a couple weeks out of the year and go to it's not going to kill you. We've lived there for decades. You can definitely go for short periods of time. Shout outs. What's up? Janelle says, I'm done with the winter. I'm tired of the cold. 100%. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? M. George, I don't know what their situation is, but I know plenty of people, and I've shown them on this channel that are doing big things in Ghana. So I don't know. I think some people are doing just fine. Yes. Brown Coat Blue said, we had all the freezing rain and sleet yesterday. You got to be taking half step, going 5 miles. Ooh, yeah. Sorry. M. George says, I was in a Cebu for a month and really enjoy and plan on coming back, but I can't get my wife on board. Difficult things. Maybe you guys can come to an agreement where it's like, okay, we can spend half the year in Ghana and we can spend half the year in America. That way it's a win-win, and both of you guys are willing to accommodate each other to make it happen. And I assume maybe you're planning on retiring or something like that. Maybe if it's a retirement thing. Thank you, Janelle. You always show so much love, babe. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the tangible support to your girl. Hello. Yes. So maybe you can, realistically, I'm on some other stuff at this point in my life. Which is, I'm so selective when it comes to dating. I already went through that with my ex-husband about, me wanting to live in Africa and me realizing, coming to the reality that he wanted to stay in the Western world. And obviously, spoiler alert, he's living there. I'm living here. We're divorced. We're doing our thing. In my case, I talked to him before I got married because I would have never married someone that I knew was not on board. But if you're in already the relationship and this person is resisting you, I think that would be a great compromise, which is like, look, I want to be in Africa. I know you want to be here. We're a couple, I don't want to leave you or anything like that, but you know, this is what I want to do. It's really important to me. So let's come to a consensus, you know. Now let's just say your partner's a selfish bee. Well, and they're just like, no, it's my way or the highway, then highway. Hello. Because I mean life's too short, guys. I'm not trying to be an advocate for that. I don't know all the details of your situation, but at the end of the day, do you really want to sacrifice your dreams and aspirations for someone who's not on board? No, I don't. You know, because I love Ghana. I'm not giving up for nobody. You know, and many men have tried to step to me thinking that they were going to convince me to give up my African mind, as my ex-husband calls it, and they found out the hard way. So I would say, you know, George, I would make my efforts, you know, to try to compromise. And I mean, I really think half is good. I think half is great. If you guys have a house in the US, you know, you can maybe rent it out, do short-term rental, you could do Airbnb, y'all could leave in the wintertime, come and spend it in Africa, and then y'all can go back, you know, maybe the spring, summertime and be there. And I think it's the best. I think it's the best of both worlds. And I think people could be happy in that situation. But that's my little 2 cents. Hello. Yeah, because me at this stage, if he's not okay living in Africa, he can't even. Da-na-na-na, da-na. Da-na-na-na, da-na. Oh my. Mm-mm. Oh, I can turn a gray sky blue. They can't even get next to me. Okay, I'm not even doing it. You feel me? I'm not even doing it. If you want to live abroad, that's fine, but I'm not the girl for you. So I'm just not even starting anything with people that have that issue anymore. But if you're already in it, make the efforts, you know, make the efforts as best you can, or you know, highway. I don't know. I mean, big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you, Miss Myrtle. I appreciate you so much. Much love to Miss Myrtle in the building. Yeah, Bronco Blue says it's extremely hard to take care of all that stuff from abroad. Yeah, it is. And I just think sometimes, you know, obviously, I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of people are stupid. And you know, it's hard to get customer service. Plus, phone calls are expensive from here to there. You know, you can't call your bank on WhatsApp. You can't call Sally Mae on WhatsApp or Capital One. You got to do direct calls. And they be putting you on hold for an hour and all that drama. Sometimes it's just better to conduct your business in person and you know, just touch base and make sure everything is okay, and you can just make a quick trip. You know, like I went to the UK to renew my British passport. Okay, when I was there, I renewed my debit card. I went and, you know, did this, did that, visited friends, you know, and just made a conglomerate trip of it all, you know. And so I'm good now for some time. You feel me? Big shout out to you guys. Yes, thank you so much. One and only super chat so far, Janelle, showing love in a very tangible way. She always does. She puts her money where her mouth. I know that she loves the African superstar because she invests in our platform. And obviously the monies that I raise on these super chats, I'm putting it aside for the music. We have a new studio session that we need to do. Hello. So yes, thank you so much. Browncoat Blue says these new airline flights might kill you. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of what's going on in the US. It's crazy. It's really crazy. So what kind of question is this? Of course she is. 100%. What is that? Yeah, please stay on topic. Okay, the topic is, would I um, refer Ghana? I want to promote you guys to travel and see, make that determination for yourself. Okay, because every African country is not the same, and whatever, you know. All right, this is crazy. George, is it a white lady? What kind of nonsense is this? She's scared. She thinks they're going to boil her in a pot. I don't even think there's any cannibals in Ghana. I don't know what the hell. People be coming up with some far out stuff. Them people she living with in America are much more likely to butcher her, do some heinous stuff. You know, y'all living among some psychotic killers over there. I'm sorry. I just got to say it. I don't ever hear about, or maybe she's talking about like juju and rituals and all of that. That's pretty far fetched. I say if she's minding her business, then she'd be all right. Big shots. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. Thank you so much, Janelle. You, babe, you doing the most. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that's what I would do. But M. George, I'm in a different point of my life. I'm on that no limit, get on the train or get ran over. I don't give a damn who's coming with me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because like my grandmother used to tell me, she who has eyes or he who has eyes, let them see. If you get the sense or you have the wherewithal or you have the vision, you need to enact that. That's your path. It's not nobody else's path. And you can try to be accommodating to the people that you love and the people that you care to a point. To be quite frank with you, my mother prefers that I'm living with her in America. She loves it when I'm around. We're very close, but she has to understand that I've made the decision to be in Ghana for me, and we have that conversation often because a lot of diasporans that move abroad, our parents, our family, they don't understand why we're choosing it. But, I could see a long time ago the direction that the Western world is heading in is not where I want to be. Number one. Number two, I don't like the lifestyle. I don't like the weather. I don't want to live with the non-Black people. It's too violent. The chemically modified foods, the list is long. So I'm a proactive person, and at this stage of my life, I just cannot be hindered by people that are not like-minded. So, that might be her hang up. She might be really scared. I mean, her brain might be, really brainwashed and warped. But I'd say if you love Ghana and you can manage it, then hey, I would be wild. As a husband, I'd probably be wild. I'd probably be like, well, I know plenty of African men that do it actually. They come and stay in Ghana for 6 months, 5 months, and then they just go and visit their family in the Western world because they want to be in Africa and maybe their wife doesn't or their partner doesn't. One thing, it's not mutually exclusive. Again, I'm not promoting divorce, but I think if your partner should care about your desires as well. A good partner is one who compromises and accommodates and loves and at times sacrifices for the family. So I think that, there's somewhere to meet in the middle. Now, if your partner rejects, your concept altogether, then I mean, in my opinion, that gives you the free reign because it'll give me the free reign because I would be like, like I said, I'm here in Africa. My ex-husband is there. If I just wanted to go along with the status quo, I would be there too. I drove on to my goals with or without him. You understand? Anyway, this M. George, don't come on my channel with your relationship problems. Okay, hello. Barry Payton Harambe Baruba Kabia. Shout outs to you. Respect from New Orleans. Thank you so much for turning into me tonight. Wow, what a name. Big shout outs to you. Thank you so much. Cape Coast is our cultural sister city. All right, all right. Big shout outs to you. Yes. M. George's wife is scared that she's going to get boiled in a pot here in Ghana. Yes. So you see the wild thoughts, wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow thoughts. Wow, wow, wow. You see those wild thoughts that the people in the West have? Maybe she's tasty, M. George. See, if she's so tasty, that's your own fault, bro. You done made her feel like she's spicy, she tasty, that everybody want to boil her up. I don't think I've ever had the thought of getting boiled up in a pot. That's really crazy. So we've already talked about the Harmattan, bro. We've already talked about Ghana really only has like 2 seasons. The Harmattan is the dry season, and then we have the rainy season, which we're getting ready to start the rain. We had rains a couple days ago, actually. Um, yeah, it's February now, so it's getting ready to. I'd say probably by March, definitely, we will be into the rainy season. Barry Payton, Harambe Baruba Kabia, we're planning to visit this summer, looking to repatriate. Africa is now and the future. If you need any help planning your trip, my friend, I do offer bespoke tours. I can mold it around your life and needs. You can hit me up at African Superstar, African with the K, African Superstar at gmail.com if you're interested. And perhaps we can work together. I come highly recommended. Yes. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. George, you did too much. Now she thinks people want to eat her. Alex, what's up? Shout outs to you. Big shout outs to Alex from Sierra Leone. You see, we're global on this platform. Hello. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. So to get back to the topic, a friend of mine asked me, would I refer Ghana? She's, obviously a lot of Americans in America, not just Black Americans, but Americans in general are turning their sights on the international community because of the chaotic and hostile living environment in America. And so I've been getting quite a lot of this, inquiring about the continent, inquiring about Ghana, inquiring about UK and these type of things. And I always say the same thing, it's not one size fits all. I moved to UK because I liked it. I moved to Ghana because I liked it. And I frequented both places before I moved. And I also traveled to many other countries before I made those decisions to know what was a good fit. And I really just think that's the starting point. And again, if you are in your Western environment and you are not in a position to travel quite yet, you can still empower yourselves by learning about these various places. Okay. And for that, I would say you probably wouldn't want to seek mainstream news because obviously mainstream news is going to paint a particular narrative. You need to do research beyond that. You can look on social media, you can read books or magazines, or, tap into maybe the news networks in those countries, and just to get an idea of what's going on politically, what's going on in terms of the people, what's happening in the economy, race relations, those type of things, but ultimately come and visit the place. You should be able to deduce within a couple weeks if it's a place that you like or if it's a place you don't like. Okay. So much love to the African Superstar family. Guys, if you love my content and you're not yet a part of our platform, please, I'd say if you come to my channel like 3 times, and you haven't subscribed, just do the needful. Just click. That way you don't have to go to the YouTube, type in the African Superstar and be searching for me. I'll just pop up in your on your homepage. Yes. And in other news, I have my official celebrity collaboration tour coming up October 19th through the 26th. Yes, you guys are going to be hearing about it. Yes, I don't care if you're tired. I don't care. Because I want you guys to know. So we are offering a 7-day tour of Mr. Taye Uhuru and I. Both of us avid world travelers, African travelers, have been doing this for many years. And we offer tours. If you want more information about that specific tour, you can go to his website, which is www.taye.uhuru, that's UHURU.com, and you will see our full itinerary. You can book on the website and everything. Okay, so anyway, guys, until we meet again, stay Black and true. If you ain't Black, just stay true.